What's going on, everyone? My name is Nicholas Merton here at Data Dash, and today is September 22nd of 2020. Well, folks, I hope you are having a fantastic day wherever you are. And in today's video, I want to spend some time to talk about three key cryptocurrency plays that I'm watching in the market as we've gone through this correction in the broader altcoin space. There's a lot of different plays, a lot of opportunities, but these are the three that I personally believe are the ones that you're going to want to watch. And as always, again, it's not financial advice, guys, but above all, I want to be as transparent as possible and tell you guys, where I'm currently positioned, if I pulled the trigger on any of these, or if I'm holding any of these positions at the moment. So we've got a lot of things to discuss. Let's just go ahead and dive right into it. So going ahead here, first off, I just want to go ahead and scan the market here. Broadly speaking, we can see that the whole market is in a sea of red here. And this is following the already existing trend for the last 72 hours, where for the last few days, we've had a pretty stark correction continuing off of the sell-off that we've had over the last month or so in September. So I want to go ahead and we'll dive straight into our first play here. Our first one here is UniToken, or the Uniswap native governance token, that a lot of people are very hyped about. There was a big airdrop where a lot of the supply was given up to people who participated in the protocol. Now, just to be fair with you guys, I was very fortunate. I had like 2 or 3 wallets that interacted with Uni in this case, so it was really good in that case. I was able to claim some Uni tokens. But in this case, I'm actually looking to average into Uni and actually make a trading position. I haven't sold my original tokens, and I hopefully do want to build more of a position in this case. Now, the reason I want to do this is because the price action right now has obviously cooled off here. We've had more than a 50% correction from the highs. In fact, almost teetering between a 55 to 60% correction. I'll go ahead and get the date and price range tool here. From the absolute peak here at the current price, we're at around 54.8%. Coming here to the bottom range here, we're looking at about 56% here. Now, why is this range important for Uniswap on a technical basis? And then we can talk about the fundamentals and things of the like. The reason why it's important is because this is the first range of resistance before we popped up and had the secondary part of the rally. I mean, it already had a very strong launch here. Again, going from the lows here around $1.80 up here to $3.60. So again, doubling in price, roughly speaking, 100% move. We continued onward, and after breaking through this resistance range here around $4, we went on to more than double in that case, above $8. And it tends to be that when you have these kind of crazy openings in this case, you either have one of two things. You open up with the initial price, you come down, have like a 50% to 70% correction, and then you come back up to the highs and break out what's known as traditionally as an IPO reversal in traditional stock markets when a company is initially offered onto the market. But in this case, we're dealing with tokens, so it's an initial token offering or initial listing offering, ILO, ITO, whatever you want to call it, right? In this case, you sometimes get you get a different form of it in this case, where you get a kind of ascending triangle in the first day or two of price action. You get a breakout, and they usually have a pretty sharp correction afterwards, coming on that base of previous resistance, making it support, and that's why we're watching it in this level. I really don't see Uni going that further down. Now, there's one thing that people will bring up, and that's that, right now there's only about 10% of the overall existing supply that there will ever be. And yes, that's true. That's probably one of my bigger concerns with Uni in this case. But people don't understand that there's quite a long lockup on a lot of these tokens. And because of that lockup, it's important to understand that it really doesn't affect price right now. The circulating supply is what is going to be relevant right now. It's the same reason we talk about the halving event for Bitcoin. Yes, we can know that the halving event is going to reduce the supply and therefore it should be priced in, but it doesn't get priced in because day-to-day supply and demand is what drives prices. And if there's not a reduction in the supply just yet, it's not going to really have an effect on price. Ergo, same here with Uniswap. On the other narrative in this case, even though there is going to be an increase in the overall available supply in the future, it's not probably going to happen yet. Another thing as well, last thing on the technicals, then we'll dive into the fundamentals, is this kind of circulation of volume here. We had the big breakout here, the peak here, and overall buy and sell side volume here. We've been kind of coming down here, and it looks like we're going to start building up here. So you want to see a buildup of volume here, and you eventually want to see a break above $4 getting out of this channel here. That's what we're going to look for in the sense of technicals, and we're going to be quite confident in that case that it's moving higher afterwards if that happens. Talking on a fundamental basis, guys, look, I can tell you guys, I've interacted with a lot of DeFi protocols. I've tried out DYDX, I've tried Compound, I've tried Uniswap, I've tried all types of different DeFi apps out there that I've come to know and love, and I think that they're all fantastic in a lot of regards. But Quite frankly, I gotta tell you all, Uniswap has been the most useful for me personally. Trading is the biggest application of the crypto space, and having a simplified kind of way to make market orders to any altcoin you want at relatively low fees, it's a pretty good use case. And also the ability to provide liquidity and earn a yield in that case for a lot of people. Even considering impermanent loss, you can make some great returns as the cryptocurrency market's going up, providing liquidity to the market. And you can see here, ever since the Uni token launched, we rebounded back towards the all-time highs here, around the $2 billion mark for total liquidity, and volume is still remaining relatively strong. So above all, I want to say that my key point here is that Uniswap is probably the most fundamentally useful, utilized, and valuable DeFi protocol. Taking a look at the overall total locked up value, just jumping back here to DeFi Pulse, it is the largest, not only decentralized exchange, but it is the largest DeFi protocol in the sense of total value locked up, or TVL. Now, diving in here again to the individual assets, we can see ETH breaking to new all-time highs. The Bitcoin held here, wrapped Bitcoin far beyond where its peak was back here in September 10th of 2020, just literally less than a few weeks ago, and DAI soaring to new all-time highs. So this is fantastic to see. This to me is really exciting. And I think overall, again, just seeing the total value locked up at its peak here, even considering the market sell-off, this is a really good telltale sign that it's going to continue being one of the large players that we want to watch. Now, I've talked a lot about Uniswap. I want to dive here into our second play here, and that is OmiseGo. Now, in the sense of my position on OmiseGo, I just built in a position. This is one of the reports we just put out, not so much in our newsletter, but an alert we put out in our trading group. And OmiseGo was one that I've been watching for some time, but it really just came to the sweet spot that I was waiting for. Now, OmiseGo in this case, for those who may not know, has really been working on, initially kind of back a couple years ago, on remittances and payments within the cryptocurrency space. And right down that alley is building out layer 2 scaling solutions for Ethereum and hopefully maybe other chains in the future. But in this case, focusing on building Plasma in this case for the Ethereum network, a layer 2 scaling solution that's going to help us get past all of the costs in relation to sending transactions, processing payments on the Ethereum chain, which is getting quite expensive as of recent. Now, as you all probably know, Tether had announced a partnership in this case with OmiseGo. They've started to allow the ability to migrate Tether onto OmiseGo and to take away some of that on-chain demand in this case in order to reduce fees, not only on the Ethereum mainnet, but also to give people who are using layer 2 that opportunity to have lower fees in general, much lower than on-chain. And the great thing about this in regards to the technicals here is that it looks really, really nice. So just taking a step far back here, going like towards a much longer term time frame. Right, we can see OmiseGo has been traded for quite some time. This is just the Binance listing. It was on, Bittrex even before that. But all in all here, we can see that OmiseGo, of course, just like all other altcoins, didn't fare well going into the bear market and came down here and finally set a bottom down here in the lower 100s sat range area down here, right? Around 700, 800 sats. And that came a long way down from 33,000 sats back in 2017, September 2017, when it was getting around its peak at the time. What's nice, though, is that this took a very long time to happen, whereas the reversal here is happening very, very quickly. Now, if you all have seen the charts of plays like Aave, for example, we can go ahead, I'll pull it up here. I got to find it in my list. I think Aave is not having the best day. I can actually just probably search it up here. I'm slightly blind, I guess. We can just go ahead and take a look at Aave, right? Oh, actually, this is the Tether chart, so I don't think we'll have enough price history. We'll take a look at Lend BTC. Sorry, guys. I always like to keep things candid and stuff. Sometimes we'll be a bit slow to getting things properly right. So Aave peaking back here in 2018, January, and we can see here we had this big cup in price, and then we had the massive reversal where it broke past those all-time highs, broken to new highs. I don't know if in this case we're going to see OmiseGo do this in the sense of price action. I do think in this case that we could definitely see a breakout towards these relative highs, towards maybe the peak of the cycle or just later on in the cycle, which from this point it's going to be probably more than 10x against Bitcoin. That to me is very exciting. It's very interesting, and I think it's well deserved in this case in regards to OmiseGo in the sense that they're actually building something that's going to help scale layer 1 until we get to ETH 2.0. We are not getting to ETH 2.0, and I want to make this very clear, guys. As much as we're making some great progress, the testnet moves have been great. At the same time, we are not going to see ETH 2.0 for a very long period of time. DC Investor, in this case, a guy I follow on Twitter, puts out a lot of good stuff, put out a really good point here that we must continue investing in layer 1. If you believe in DeFi, if you believe in enterprise blockchain on Ethereum, if you believe in crypto in general and are a fan of blockchains, we need to support the development of layer 1 scaling in this case, or excuse me, layer 2 in this case, because the layer 1 network is going to take a very long period of time before we can get that scaling improvement that we're expecting from ETH 2.0, and that's right now expecting that there's not going to be any major delays, right? We're already expecting this is going to take some time. So in this case, I recommend you guys read this feed. It's a really good just kind of summary here, and it's something that I kind of feel close to heart. I've been hearing a lot about like ETH 2.0, ETH 2.0, but it's going to take a long time. And along with that as well, when there is kind of layer 1 scaling solutions, people just kind of maybe toss one solution. I think it's going to be a plethora of solutions, and that's where I think OmiseGo can come into play here, where there will be some demand for the OmiseGo token. So again, just wanted to mention here, I like the setup technically. Talking about the price action, coming down on a very key point of previous support and also previous resistance, making it new support. We've also seen as well that OmiseGo kind of goes through these pretty dramatic corrections here. I think it was around a 45% correction onto previous resistance, making it support. And in this case, we've had an over 70% correction from the highs. I look for plays like that. I like those kind of moves. All right. And the last one here, outside of OmiseGo and outside of Uniswap, is taking a look at Ampleforth. Now, Ampleforth, I have to be fair, guys. I've been holding Ample, and I am looking to potentially average in here as we're getting towards a very key support range. But all in all, Ample's been one that I've set a decent-sized position in, and I'm looking for this to, again, be a play over the next few months. I'm not looking so much at price in this case. I'm looking at market capitalization. But all in all, analyzing price here, I do like that we're very close here to testing the third time here on this line of support. We had the first one here, second one here. Third time's a charm here usually. In this case, making support, getting a rebound here, and getting some of those positive rebase days. Again, I don't really care too much about the rebases. I do really focus mainly on price. That's the quickest way you're going to get an impact in regards to the Ample holding. But it can definitely be seen as a positive thing in regards to Ample as an asset. There can be negative rebases and positive rebases where the total supply of coins goes up and down depending on where Ample's price is in comparison to its pegged target of $1.01. So that's one thing to keep in mind here in regards to Ample if you see the balance change. Another thing I'm looking for as well is we get possibly a third bounce off here on the support line at a higher level. The thing I'm looking for is for a breakout in volume beyond the previous line here of resistance that we've had on volume. Our peak was back here in July. We had a secondary peak that was lower here in September. I don't want to see a third peak here. I want to see it break through and possibly test back up to this range or possibly levels that we've seen in the past. Taking a look here at market cap, we're right here at a nice big even of $100 million for market cap. And also, if you take a look at this previous point of resistance here for Ample, lining it up here with the previous level of support, we're coming down, resting in possibly for a rebound point here. So again, this is one that I'm going to be watching for averaging in here. I haven't built any additional position in it yet, but I'm definitely looking at it as I've been adding in more fiat into the crypto market as of recent. Now, all in all, guys, that's it for our 3 plays here. In regards to kind of like, just kind of breaking down the opportunities that we see in the market, these are the ones that I feel are best right now. I'm putting my money where my mouth is in regards to these plays, and I think that they're going to be substantially good plays over the next few weeks or possibly the next few months. Really depends on your time frame as a trader. But again, above all, guys, do your own research. It is never financial advice. Just go out there, analyze it for yourself. Again, this is just my take. Go out there, get the takes of a lot of other different people in the space. I think that's very healthy and important. Last thing, though, above all, guys, we don't have any sponsor today, but I just wanted to let you all know that we're closing out our equity crowdfunding for Digifox, our WeFunder campaign, on October 2nd. So for those of you out there who want to get a stake in Digifox as a company, well, again, it's not so much an equity stake, it's a safe note which can convert into equity if we do our Series A. So in this case, you're not just doing a crowdfunding in this case where you're not getting anything out of it. In this case, you're actually getting safe notes, potential ownership in the company if we go on to doing our next raise. So we're very excited about that. If you guys are interested in that, please consider checking out the WeFunder campaign down below in the description. I'll have it linked down below. But above all, we're doing really good. There's some WeFunder updates as well. You can read into our company, see where we're at right now. We just posted a big one back a little over a week ago. So all in all, hope you guys will check that out. But I hope you're having a fantastic day, everyone. If you have any types of ideas on what kind of plays you're watching in the market, leave it down below in the comments. We can only grow as a community if we learn from one another and share with one another. All right, everyone. I hope you're having a fantastic day wherever you are, and I'll see you all in the next video. Take care, everyone.